Hey everybody, this is James with WSTrades.com. Want to provide an update here on stock futures, down huge right now in pre-market. NASDAQ on the screen right now down over 2%, so I think it's down 2.26% right now. I'm just setting a fresh low here on the daily time frame, so it was trying to hold around 13,000 but just couldn't do it, and the bears crushed this thing below that level. So trading right now around 12,400. Let's take a look here at S&P 500 futures. Going to be very similar, just not as hard of a move down here, but it did just set a new fresh low here on the daily time frame. So this thing was trying to hold around 4,100, even up here a little higher around 4,150, just couldn't do it, bleeding through that level. And then we'll pull up the Dow futures as well. So this is the June expiration. So Dow is a little bit different because Dow actually bounced off of this level here around 32,400. This is going back to March. So this one actually is at a very key level. The other two major futures there have already bled through, a previous low, but Dow is like right at that level where if the buyers stepped in, it could bounce and actually try to hold this level. So we'll kind of see what happens with Dow, but let's take a look at some other tickers related to these indexes and kind of see where things might settle down or where we might see some actual buying come in and hopefully find a bottom here. So let me clear out. I have some trend lines drawn up here from previous videos. Let's clear those out. Daily, we're at the low on the daily, so let's head out to the weekly, get a little more data here. Okay, so as you can see here, this is QQQ. So this is the NASDAQ ETF, bleeding through a key level there, the 100-day exponential moving average. And what you can see here back during March 2020, during the COVID crash, this thing actually made a dip below this 100-day exponential moving average. It didn't go far, but if you look at this right here, it dipped just below that level. That level was about 185, came 20 points below that level all the way down to about 165 before the buying came in and we had that insane rally. So you can see even during the COVID crash, we did get that dip below this 100-day EMA. And we are about, let's see here, the 100-day EMA right now is about 325. We're about 310, so we're not quite 20 points down on that right now. But kind of what I'm seeing here is we might actually get some buying to come in at 300. So this thing is at 302 right now, about 302.43 here in pre-market today. But we could see, buyers step in there at, maybe that 300 level, which is just a couple dollars away. If buyers do not step in at that 300 level, we could be coming down to test about 270. So we could see another 20 points there if the sellers are able to crush it through that 300 level and close it below that 300 level. Let's also check here on SPY, which is S&P 500 ETF. This one dipped a lot harder below the 100-day EMA back during the COVID crash. You can see this made a bigger move here. So the 100-day EMA was around 289, 290, and this thing dipped all the way down to 218. So that was a much larger move here for the S&P 500. So for now, the S&P 500 is still above the 100-day EMA on this weekly time frame anyways. Let's see, we're at 404, and the 100-day EMA is about at 405. So actually, it's right at it right now, just below it. So definitely at a key point here to see if this is going to hold the 100-day EMA. But as you can see, COVID crash, it definitely dipped below that level. So for S&P 500 right now, could see maybe some buying coming in pretty soon here around 393, 394, somewhere in there. You kind of see as it was in the uptrend, it did ram up against this level here a little bit, pulled back and then blasted through. So you could see something there. If not, if the sellers are able to push it through that level and below that level and close it on the weekly, we could be coming down here to test around 375. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. And then let's check out DIA, because we know DIA is a little bit different here. Got a previous trend line drawn up there. So yeah, again, DIA here a little bit different. This one is still above the 100-day EMA, it looks like right now, or right at it, kind of like SPY, but it has a chance here to actually finish this weekly candle at or above. But DIA also made a huge move below this 100-day EMA back during the COVID crash in 2020. So looking at DIA right now, if it does not hold where it's at right now, around 325, and bounce off of this 100-day EMA, I think this thing is probably going to come down and test around 315, 316, somewhere in there. So we could see another good $10 move down. And then that could be a key level where we actually get some buying and some buyers to step in. So it's definitely good to go back and look at some of these other ETFs that are kind of related to the futures, because the futures charts, those things are like quarterly. So you don't get to go very far back. You can't see very far back on those and see this kind of previous data that might tell you like what a key resistance or what a key support level is. When we have massive moves down in the market, where the market makes really big moves down, sometimes you've got to go a year back. You've got to go 2 years back and find a key level, maybe a previous resistance or a previous support level, that will actually tell you, hey, this is a point that a lot of people might be looking at, and we might actually see some buying coming in a big sell-off, or if we have a big recovery and things are ripping really hard and we're coming up to a very key resistance level, that's another thing. Sometimes you got to go back really far to see where this thing might come up and where sellers might come in and where you might start to see this stock or this ETF start to reverse. So it's definitely good when you're looking at futures and you have these big moves to go look at things like QQQ, DIA, and SPY to kind of see what key levels traders have hit in the past and where we've seen reversals or, key moves in the past. So I'll continue to keep you guys updated here on stock futures and the markets in general. Please like this video. Please also subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this.